Hopefully there we go. Now it's working. Okay, I was getting nervous. I did all my pre-tests and everything was fine. And right as I was getting ready to go live, the microphone audio indicator went out and was not indicating any actual audio. So I was having like, it's probably not going to work, but it's back. So I guess we're all good there. Got the countdown timer going. Yeah, there. Ooh, there we go. Countdown. There. Got the countdown timer going. So we'll take a few minutes of nothing too serious before we dive into any topics today. That little piece of hair does not want to lay down. I just even had it all fixed, I thought, before I started. So usually I am ready for these things way early, and I did some of the stuff I was doing preparing. It kind of time got away from me, and I was a little bit late, almost late. So I was like scrambling at the last minute, then trying to get everything ready all of a sudden. So, all right. Hello, Bill. Hello. Glad to see you on here. Brenda's putting up hand sanitizer emojis. That's the order of the day. So, Noreen, good to see you on here. And Mark, hello. Oh, and Deborah's here. Hello, Deborah. Kat, hello. So, right, and maybe the hair gel will do it. Yeah, that gets the combination of not getting to wash my hair like every day and the dry in the desert and the wind, and yeah, it's kind of because I was outside earlier shooting some video that I'm gonna share with you guys in a bit. So yeah, it just gets it's a lost cause. The and I, hello, and Vesta, hello. So like I was saying to those of you who were just logging on, I was gonna give it a few minutes here to well, we're down to about a minute now before we get kicked off with some topics and it's partly stuff that you guys have asked me because I put that up. I try and put that up on social media every week ahead of time and see if anybody's got some topics or questions you'd like to see and if you do have other questions too, make sure you're ready with them. I'm sure we'll run out of stuff on my list and then I'll be like frantic looking for some uh, ideas from you all. So, Lauren, hello, thanks for logging on, and Howard. Deborah asking about my shirt logo. It's actually black. It's just the green, and with the what I found with the van here between the curtains and then like the all the wood paneling and the limited light source. Depending on what light source I use, it really skews. Right now, I have the window right behind the desk open, and with a curtain up so I can, lots of natural light coming in, and the front window here is open, and then everything else is closed up. So it just depends on what light I'm using. It does kind of skew things a little bit. So, see, Norfolk Garden, hello, with an elbow bump there. And Jared, hello, glad you were able to make it tonight. We're going to talk on one of your comments and suggestions here tonight in just a few minutes, Jared. Oh, I forgot about the space shuttle there. I'll have to be keeping an eye out for that. But we have so much clouds this year. It's been surprising. But oh, Mark, you can't click on someone's icon. You can't see their channel, huh? Well, YouTube is always like tweaking stuff. You never know when they're gonna uh, what they're changing next. So, oh, okay. So Noreen's saying YouTube changed that recently. I didn't even notice that because yeah, I used to be able to click on people's. Sometimes, and a lot of people don't put anything else up there, but like I have some info on the about page on mine, and some people do. So it's really helpful if you're trying to, especially if you're just a little suggestion there. If you do have a YouTube channel, it's a good idea to put something on your about page so that someone who's visiting your channel, they want to know, hey, what's this thing about? They can kind of get a little info there. Oh, my mother's logged on. Hello, way out there in Massachusetts. And Mr. Safety Forever. Hello, good evening. All right, we'll jump over here to the other screen, make sure everything's still working. So, go through our little intro thing. So, yeah, I got a few topics lined up already. Um, and then we're definitely going to be looking for any suggestions or questions you all have. So, we're going to kick off in just a minute with hiding in plain sight. Thank Jared for that topic suggestion. Then I'm going to touch briefly on frugal van or RV life, And then a quick question on, will this economy create more nomads? And then I have a couple of other questions, a fewer questions from Rose and Noreen. So a little clip coming up too, I think y'all will like, that we'll get to after we take those questions from Rose and Noreen. Let's see. Parody error. Hello, Sarah. Hello. Thanks for joining us. So, all right. So, hiding in plain sight. Jared had a question. He popped up here on. I think this was on YouTube, if my memory's right. I put up. If you didn't see it yet, here it is. I put up this picture on YouTube and said, "Hey, can you see the van hiding back there?" And so it was a little bit, you had to squint. It would probably be hard to see on a phone, really. But so Jared was wrote, "Yes, Robert, I see your van, but you just caught a not needed topic. In today's world, we may have to think about camouflage in BLM land, because from what I have said, some local authorities are moving people on. And here in Colorado, we now have a checkpoint at the Utah border and coming out of Denver on I-70. And there are a few local municipalities that are running outsiders out of the counties. Stay safe and looking forward to your video." So, all right. So thanks for weighing in with those suggestions and that information, Jared. I had to laugh a little bit about a checkpoint on I-70 going out of Denver, because after doing that last fall, I don't ever want that road again. That is a long climb. I'm just going to blow my van up. Long climb. And you get up to, what's Vale Pass there? What's that, 11,000 feet or something? I mean, it's quite a climb. Then it's like such a relief when you get over to the side and going down again. So I'm gonna go back to going a different route when I'm heading for Western Colorado. But yeah, there's some crazy stuff going on all over the place. But it's really, I don't want to say, if I want to say random, but it's hit and miss. You know, there's places that are pretty unimpacted, and then there's places that are, I'm hearing stories that I just never would have believed I'd ever hear or read about in here in the U.S. And I don't want to get into some of the debates about, is this going too far or that going, or anything else. That's for a different topic, but but it is going on. That's the part that I was mentioning, or we kind of wanted to go at here, is it is going on. This stuff's happening, and so where I'm at in Nevada, we're still in pretty good shape for the most part. You know, the state government, I forget the guy's title, but he works for the governor on Office of Outdoor Recreation or something to that effect, and they're on record that they want Nevadans to still enjoy public land and outdoor recreation, but to do it responsibly. And there have been some closures, like over in Red Rock Canyon towards Vegas. You know, they shut down a bunch of trails over there because people are supposed to be shelter. I don't know if we have an official shelter in place, or I should look that up again and make sure. But they're supposed to be anyways, taking it easy and staying at home as much as possible. And what's happening is that everybody's out, you know, like a spring break, hiking and walking around and having a good time in crowds and everything. And somebody who lived in the area, they was interviewed in the paper, and they're saying they'd never seen, in all the years they lived there, they'd never seen so many people out on some of these trails. So it's kind of a, you know, that kind of thing, as does end up getting stuff shut down. But so far we're in pretty good shape in Nevada, at least as far, I mean, like in Pahrump, the RV parks are, as far as I know, they're all still open, but certainly most of them are. But a lot of places are running into campgrounds and RV parks and trails being closed, and so we're a little limited here still. But I do think it's really essential that we practice safe social distancing, even whether you like have a place and you're just going out to get some exercise or and some fresh air, or if you're one of us who lives on the road. Either way, I think it's important we practice safe social distancing for our own health and the health of others, obviously, but also to avoid the appearance of recklessness, because we're sort of in a fishbowl. Okay? When you got a house in town, you go to your house and you know, maybe your neighbor sees you come and go, but for the most part, you're in your house. When you're out on public lands or in to some certain campgrounds or other things like that, you're kind of on display all the time, and so people do see us out here. And if we're not practicing safe social distancing, they're going to see that, whether that's the authorities or neighbors who are getting antsy because they don't trust all these strangers who are seeming to be reckless out there or whatever. But people in many areas are being kicked out of places that are supposed to be open. You all have been hearing about that. So that's a concern. We want to avoid that getting any worse. But clustering. Here's the thing. The way I look at it: clustering or crowding, whether that's at trailheads, parks, recreation areas, camping areas, it draws unwanted attention and possibly getting us kicked out and land closures. That's usually what seems to be happening. Is people get abusing it. The authorities are a little reluctant to shut stuff down, but people start abusing it, and then they feel like they have to do something because it's just too many people and too much risk of people spreading this virus around. So the best way, in my opinion, to prevent further closures is based on everything I've been seeing when I'm following this and reading about it, what's happening and when things are getting closed. That is, don't cluster together, spread out, preferably stay out of sight as much as possible. So that's why I shared this photo here about hiding in plain sight. That's as far back as I can get right here. There's a spot I was camped at one time before that I would love to be at right now, and I could get back even further there, but somebody's already there. So this is as far back as I can get. You can see it if you're looking, but I'm far enough back that it's not super obvious either. And I'm at least not attracting attention, and I'm not clumped together in a bunch of rigs. That's when you start getting, like I said, the authorities start getting nervous, and neighbors start getting nervous, or local residents who see that and think, hey, who are these strange people? And they're going to be spreading the virus in our town. So and I don't guess the bottom line is that doesn't matter what you think about this whole thing, and if all this social distancing is necessary or goes too far or whatever. That's just pragmatic right there. The stuff's getting shut down because people are clustering together and doing things that the authorities don't want them to do. So the best way to avoid that is for us to hide in plain sight. And what I mean by that is we don't have to be like sneaking around because we're criminals or we're doing something illegal, but make sure we're following the rules, and then just don't do things that are going to make people in authority or the local residents get all nervous, like, hey, who are all these people out here clumped all together, maybe spreading the virus around, then bringing it to Walmart on us, So I think that's our hiding in plain sight, then, if to use that term, is our best way to avoid things, additional restrictions that we don't want to deal with, because we're running out of places where we can go. I don't want to see Nevada crack down, because from what I've been hearing, it's a lot worse in every other direction. So I would rather not go there. So, all right, let's see. I can catch up with some comments here for a minute. Let's see what I'm missing over here. And hey, if you haven't already done it, don't forget to hit the like button. Somebody will mention that for me soon, I'm sure. Maybe you already have. My goodness, look at all these comments. All right. Sarah says great topic. Mark says great topic. So yeah, thanks. I'm glad that was one that landed. I thought it was a good idea when Jared mentioned it. Chuck says I look happy today. I must feel well. I do. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying the weather, and a little windy this afternoon, but it's been pretty nice today. After real windy yesterday, but it's been pretty nice. Nice and quiet and dark at night, so sleeping good. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Sylvester says people are scared, and scared people do stupid things. Yeah, that's that is the truth, and I think that's the issue. I'm not trying to pick on authorities who have to patrol these areas or locals who might be concerned, but I want to emphasize that. But yeah, you got to your community. You see some strangers out there, and you don't know who they are, and most everybody's a little bit somewhere between scared and terrified right now, and yeah, it just just understand where they're coming from, and don't do things that are gonna freak them out, I guess. Deborah saying it's 4 states she knows of with checkpoints. That is just, when I first heard about that coming along, I was like, nah, it's got to be misinformation here. Somebody's got a rumor going. That can't really be going. So okay, let's see. Sarah's you don't like making her van climb either. I'll tell you that I-70 just about did me in coming up from Denver to Vail. It was a hot day too, which didn't help anything. And then I went over back in February, I guess. Went over to Dante's Peak, Death Valley National Park. And the first thing I did when I got there was to Dante's Peak. And if I knew I was going to mention this, I would have had a picture to go with it. But that climb, the last quarter mile was like 15% grade or some ridiculous thing, and it's all uphill for like miles, and then you get a brutal climb to switch backing up. The van did not like that climb, and then I had to go back down again. Brand new ceramic brakes. I thought I was going to burn them out. I'm in low gear, pumping, trying to keep, and it was so steep with a 6,400-pound van, high top van. I couldn't stay off the brakes long enough. I mean, it was crazy. I am never taking this van up there again either. There you go. Chuck saying engine going up and brakes coming down. That was exactly it on both of those, I-70 and on I got this van. This van is a low mileage and it runs great, but it's got a 5.0 engine in it. It's a 93, so it doesn't have the efficiency gains that came with OBD2. So the sensors are kind of old and the computer is pretty limited, and it rolled out of the factory, and then they put a roof on it and everything, a high top roof, and I don't have that big of a build, but I'm like 300 pounds shy of max weight. It's got extra springs in the back, so that helps with the weight distribution and everything, but my gosh, I mean, it's yeah, I just have to be aware of that. I'm kind of pushing it close to the limits in this van, so I don't want to be doing mountains I don't have to do that are too steep. So, oh, my father's saying they did that in the RV, but they got a big V10 in that. So that's interesting to know that handled it all right, because I got that small V8, and I'm just too close to the limits. But probably I'm pretty sure this thing's geared pretty high too. So let's see, Eddie, hello. As far as I know, the laundromats here are still open. I'm gonna have to go find out this week. Um, I haven't had to go since I washed. It's all done out in Wyoming, so I was well supplied when I got here. But I am gonna have to go find the wrong one here. There we go. Laundromats and stuff. There is a place here that has showers that I believe is still open. Frump's a little short on some of that stuff, anyways, but kind of funny that way. Noreen saying she couldn't see the van on the phone. I wondered about that if on a smaller device. I had to zoom in on mine, and I can see it like on the computer when the picture is full size. But right there, stay away from people and keep moving. That's about it right there. That's helps avoid any anything that attracts attention. Is just I just try and avoid, even when this stuff isn't going on. I just don't like to attract attention because I try to do my own thing and fly under the radar and not cause anybody trouble. I'm respectful of other people. I don't make a mess where I camp. I'm just, unlike whoever was here before, I've literally picked up an entire trash bag of trash here, which I'm able to do here because the landfill's not far from here, and they're open 7 days a week. I can go throw big bags away. I don't have to find a Walmart or something. Love, peace, and joys, and their parks and beaches were shut down because people aren't taking things seriously. And yeah, maybe some big cities have been some proactive stuff, but a lot of the closures I've seen, especially when it comes to parks and beaches and public lands and stuff, it's been because people are not behaving. They're just not doing what they're asked to do, and the result is just that they shut it down for everybody. Because who's got the resources to run around and patrol all these public lands and beaches and parks and everything to make sure people are practicing social distancing, right? So, well, they're just going to shut it down, and that'll be the end of it, Let's see. Oh, that's am I in Nevada now? I've been in Nevada for more than a week now. Did a straight through drive from Wyoming, only stopped for gas, pay at the pump, so I didn't mess with anybody, and came on down. So, yeah, thanks. Deborah's mentioned and hit the like button there. So, yeah, that really does help. Oh, Lady T Survival! Congratulations on the van. That's awesome. That's a huge step when you finally get that far. So, good luck with the outfit. And Brenda's asking, if it gets too crowded, do you leave or do you ask others to leave if you were there first? You certainly could ask others to leave if you were there first. Unless you're somewhere that you think you're 100% confident you're going to if you're in a such place where you were there first, and you know if you call the ranger or LEOs, they're gonna back you up and say, yeah, you were here first. You're allowed to be here, and this other person shouldn't be crowded. That's unless you're positive of that, I'd probably just move on and and not worry about it. And that is becoming increasingly a challenge because there's fewer and fewer places you can get to. So Teton Pass. I don't remember, Noreen. When I went over there, I had the Echo, and when we left there, we had Deborah's van in the Echo. So, because I met her over there. Um, so I haven't done it with this one. Those are I've been over like the bighorns in this van and done all right. They only get to about 8,000, and I think it's like in 7 and 8, maybe a 10% grade somewhere. I go over the lower ones, was like 8%, or the flatter ones was 8%, I think. And I've done that okay without problem. But yeah, that going up over Vale Pass there, that was brutal. And then again, that one at Death Valley, even though it was only a few miles, it was just, I mean, it was like a roller coaster. Yeah, so Sarah's been up there too. Yeah, I was. I mean, I saw like the length restrictions and everything at the bottom, and I'm like, okay, trailers, no problem. I just got a van, no big deal. When I got up there, I think there were two other. The parking lot was almost packed when I got up there, and I think there were like two other vans. They were like newer, like Mercedes or Sprinter, and everything else was like cars and SUVs and stuff. I'm like, yeah, nobody else wanted to bring their van up there either. Oh man, so Noreen's run into laundromat closures. I've been surprised as it is, just without this stuff, how many places I've gone in the last couple of years where there used to be laundromats and they're closed down permanently. So that's a challenge. So, but okay, Bill's saying they're open here still, so good. I need to go do that very soon. I'm down to my last clean shirt, so I'm gonna have to take care of that. Okay, Dwayne's got the same van, getting 17 mpg. That's what I usually get, is about 17. Anywhere 16, 17, 18, it varies a little bit. I just had a tune-up done not long ago, so that pushed it back up again. But yeah, I generally, I'm not anywhere to get in a race. I usually, even on speed limits on some of the places I go at 75, 80 miles an hour, I'm putting along at 65. That's plenty fine. I'm just, I'm not worried about it. I'd rather save the gas. So. Yeah, that's about it right there. I was hand sanitizing up and pay at the pump, and I didn't go in anywhere. Literally, I ended up making it like in, what was it, 16, 18 hours, I think I did. That's 1,000 miles. Cause I was going to do it 2 days originally and just sleep in a rest area or something. And I made such good times. I didn't stop at all that I'm like, heck, I can get through Vegas at like 2 in the morning when the traffic's not bad. And we'll go for it. I did a little video. If you guys weren't on last week, I did a little video about that. That is actually on last week's live chat, and I'm going to be reposting that little video here pretty soon, sometime this week probably. It's like it's like on Wyoming to Nevada in 93 seconds. I called it. So, and one of the things I've found, by the way, over the couple of years of doing these live chats and talking to a lot of people, is that about roughly maybe 10% of viewers on a channel watch live chats, and the rest don't. So I'm starting to occasionally pull out some clips out of live chat that I can reshare as a standalone. So you may have seen the one the other day on, oh gosh, what was it? Oh, what am I doing to stay safe? That's what it was. It was like a 4-minute clip I took out of a live chat from 2 weeks ago and just published it as a 4-minute clip. So the people who don't care to do live chats can still catch some of those clips. So I'm going to do that with that little video clip from the Nevada to Wyoming. I'll put that up this week, so keep an eye out for that if you just want to watch that video again, without me going and putting like comments over that. I had from a few people saying, "Don't put the comments over it." So. Yeah, I'm not arguing, saying like we're not like sneaking around like lawbreakers or anything, but sometimes this is just one of them times where I try and fly low anyways, and this is one of those times where I just don't want to do anything to attract attention because so many closures have happened precisely because people were congregating and crowding up, and I just don't want to see any more of them to anything I can be involved with it. Yeah, that's about it. I was having semis pass me when I was going up by time I could. It was the last mile or two was just like, oh man, yeah. Yeah, serious about washing clothes by hand. I have done that in the past, and I do it more often when I'm like in the forest. I don't mind doing it, but over here in the desert, like I have like nothing I can tie off a laundry line to, um, like from the van to, and there's nothing to tie it to. So I've not done it here just because it's a hassle to get things dried. But I do it like in the forest where I can, hang a rope or something and hang laundry out. It does. I don't care to go to the laundromat if I can help it. So if I can get by with hand washing, I'm perfectly happy doing that. Oh, there we go. Deborah's sharing a link to that video. Yeah, what am I doing to stay safe? There we go. From the live. But anyway, yeah, so I know a lot of channels do that. They'll republish little excerpts. And so I'm trying that out so that those who don't uh, care to watch live, because a lot of people are freaked out like an hour and 20 minutes. I don't want to watch that. So I'll pull out a couple little clips that I think might be helpful to people. Not the hey, how's it doing going so and so, but the little focus segments, and I clean them up a little too and shorten it up. So those are going up there uh, anyway. So let's see. All right, we're gonna move on to a topic here now that I caught up on the comments. Oh, Sarah's over in California, man. I've been hearing. How are you making out over there? If you want to drop a note here, I've been hearing people having an awful time over there with getting stuff being shut down and everything. So, all right. So anyway, yeah. To wrap that up. There I am hiding behind a Mojave Yucca way out there, and just trying to lay low, and I'm not clumped up with anybody and not attracting any attention. So that's my thing. All right. So let's see, Frugal Van and RV Life. This is actually a teaser, but I wanted y'all's feedback. I'm planning a video soon on Frugal Van and RV Life. This is a perennially popular topic, um, but these days, I know I'm not the only one who's tightening the belt. Um, burning cash is like horrifying these days. So I've been going over I've been over the budget 2 or 3 times now, whittling it down. I keep it pretty minimal anyway. But I'm definitely watching dollars. I'm definitely being careful when I go to get groceries or anything. I'm trying to keep it down because bottom line is my income's down with this, and a lot of you are in the same boat. Either you're not working, you're waiting on stimulus payments that haven't arrived. You're waiting on unemployment that hasn't been processed or arrived. So a lot of us are in the same boat where all of a sudden, with no warning, it's like, whoa. So I was in a position where I could ride out a month without much trouble, but without more money coming in after that, I'm going to be in trouble. So I've been cutting and watching. So I want to do a video about that because I think it's really applicable now. And I think a lot of people are, trying to figure out how to avoid burning cash right now. So, but anyway, so I'm planning a video on that soon. I'm cutting expenses, watching my burn rate closely. But if you want to throw a comment here, what are you doing? You doing the same kind of thing, just watching expenses, cutting your budget down? Anything specific you're doing? Because let's face it, as far as finding more work right now, we can, we can laugh all the way down to the unemployment office, right? Because I mean, unless you want to go work at the grocery store and be frontline employee for minimum wage and end up with a coronavirus or something. But I shouldn't even say that word. YouTube will get mad at me and demonetize me. But so right, and that's Sarah's known as a clothesline. Yeah, that kind of does give you a little more profile. Lauren, thanks for joining us. Have a good evening. Oh, thanks, Deborah. Yeah, and I think some of those have some value in terms of getting it back out where people can see them again too. Even if somebody saw it in the live chat, they want to rewatch it. That way, they can just watch just that segment instead of having to do the whole live again. So, and Orion says she's watching pennies too. I tell you, I'm if you try something creative and productive, right? And I debate whether all the stimulus stuff was right or wrong, or could have been done better or worse, or could have done this or that. But I appreciate that they're at least trying to help people out in this crazy time, because I guarantee you more than half of Americans aren't going to last long without a job. You can only do that just so long. And at first, I really thought this was going to be a couple-week thing, and that was dragging on to people are talking. It's getting longer and longer. It's just like, hoo-wee. So yeah, but you end up, anyways, what ends up happening if you're trying to do unemployment or getting a business stimulus assistance, it's like a full-time job all by itself, just trying to track down to get any money, because the SBA and the unemployment offices and the banks are all crushed with millions and millions and millions of applications all at once. So it's just, I mean, now we got a full-time job just trying to scrape up some money. uh, Oh, here we go. Watch the pennies and the dollars will take care of themselves. That's a good one there. Vesta's and her kids, two kids are out of work. Yeah, unfortunately, my kids are all, well, three of my kids are still working. Um, and then I don't know how long that'll last if this keeps up. But so, Sarah's staying away from BLM. Yeah, if the situation was a little different in Wyoming, I would have just stayed. I mean, the weather was annoying, but I would have put up with the weather and the extra money I had to spend on heat. What got me there is in the city and in the county both. There's no camping ordinances. You can get away with it potentially a little easier if you have a friend or relative with property in the county, because things are spread out a little more. Um, and then you throw in, they were doing a mandatory quarantine, a 14-day quarantine. They rolled out right before I left for anybody coming in from out of state. I don't know if they were Nevada place advanced. I mean, I just stick out. I'm like, this is you talk about trying to stealth with all that, and I'm like, yeah. So you're saying with your home county is easier, and that's exactly it. When I used to have Wyoming plates, and Wyoming does the plate numbers by counties too. So County 17 is Campbell County, where I was at. So I had Campbell County plates, and it was really easy to fly under the radar and stealth camp and just move around a bit, because I just looked like a local. I kept nothing on the outside of the van that didn't look like, so I did nothing to make it look like a camper van or anything. Local passenger plates, and I had no problem. But I didn't actually. Nobody approached me and said anything this time, but I was waiting for it, because I'm like, I just know I stuck out. As I parked in my kid's driveway. I mean, how long can you do that with Nevada plates? I mean, I don't care how, it's really hard to seal up a van. So you have no light emission and no sound emission. And then even if you move around, the thing's rocking a little bit. And you're only going to give it that so long before one of the neighbors complains or something. And then the police will be out. So. All right, I'm just reviewing comments here real quick, see what I'm missing. Yeah, I think you probably put this up before I answered that. I probably got way behind, but yeah, it's I would more than likely I'm just gonna move on, rather than deal with the aggravation. Um, you can always try, you never know. Maybe somebody will be, but if they're going to come in and park on top of you anyways, they probably don't much care that you don't want them there. Uh, and if you're in an organized place, you can potentially make a complaint to the authorities. But I mean, especially out in the boondocking and stuff, it's just, yeah, I'm probably just going to move. But that is getting a little more stressful as there's fewer places and there's more people in the places that are open. So. Yeah, let's see. Harley here is saying, talking about being frugal van and RV life. Harley's saying, I've been preparing by getting out of debt. That's not really tightening the belt, but I want my expenses as low as possible. Things get worse. Yeah, I 100% agree, with that. And one of the reasons I'm able to weather it so far without a real huge catastrophic crisis has been very minimal monthly payments. I did a video a while back about how much it really costs to live in a van. I actually went over my actual budget with numbers I've been tracking for a year previous, so I was able to give some real precise numbers. From my experience, it's going to vary some for everybody, but I keep my monthly expenses as low as possible, so it does help when something goes wrong. Something goes wrong like this, whether you're whether there's a recession or just some unexpected loss in income or whatever may be happening, it does make a big difference. So, yeah, this van is a Ford E150. It was a 93, and it was a conversion van, RV prep from Ford, and then went to conversion share out, a conversion van, a manufacturing company. So then it was subsequently made and converted again into a camper van. It's got essentially it's a Class B RV at this point, everything but a shower, which delights my granddaughters. They love getting in here and playing with a sink and the lights and electricity and plugging in their tablet to charge and all this stuff. It blows their mind that I have everything in here except for a shower. So. Okay, Brenda is trying to stay home and not spend money. Has so much time to do projects, but can't spend the money right now. Still waiting on UI and stimulus. Yeah, that's. I guess some people are starting to see UI coming through now, but the expanded stuff is delayed still, and a lot of places people can't even get on the phone, or they just can't even get through the regular one. That doesn't even touch all the gig economy workers, people who are self-employed or at work for 1099 status. They're supposed to be able to apply and get funding, and the states are still even setting up that system. So you can't even. It's been a month now. We can't even apply for anything for help yet. So it's a really frustrating situation while you're just, and a part of the frustration is the lack of transparency that from the feds to say nobody's giving you a straight answer and being honest about, hey, it's going to take us this amount of time and on this day we're going to have it ready and this is how long it's going to take us to process stuff. This is all, we're doing the best we can, we don't know, we're waiting for updates from the feds, we're waiting for this or that, and you're watching the dollars disappear from your bank account. When's the money coming? How long do I have to try and hold out here? So, oh my goodness. We say over 500,000 people have already applied for unemployment out in North Carolina. Yeah, it's I forget the numbers here in Nevada, but they're talking. I think we're up around pushing 17% unemployment already, and that's not counting this week's numbers. That's from last week, and there are countless thousands of people who can't even apply yet. They haven't been able to get through to apply. The system's crashing and phones are backed up, so it's a lot higher than that. I don't even want to know what it gets to. Egg and I still have work coming in so far, saving money on fuel and coffee shop visits. Yeah, for sure. And that's like I'm parking as much as I can. I'm barely driving. Um, and other than my gas budget for the month was coming down here from Wyoming, I'm just hardly moving the van. And when I filled up in Wyoming before I left, I was at like around a half a tank, and I had filled up before I got to Gillette a month ago. So it's literally been a month since I bought gas, and I still had gas in the van because I'd only been a few miles in a month. So, and so that's yeah, I'm gonna definitely limit gas and stuff. We'll try and keep expenses. And I have some money coming in too, but it's just not. It definitely less than it used to be. Oh, I'm gonna have to check that out, Tom. I didn't know about that, and I've poked around up there for a few years, looking all over, and I've had pretty few options. I will definitely look into that. That's good to know. Okay, thanks. All right, I can catch up on comments again here real quick. Well, there's that Deborah sharing that link for how much does it cost to live in a van. Yeah, Sarah's talking about moving, I'm being asked to move along. Yeah, I share that opinion. I am not going to get into an argument with a law enforcement officer in the field. If I think they're wrong, I will deal with it after the fact with their superiors or through the court system. I am not going to get into a debate with a law enforcement officer. That's just not going to turn out well. Chuck's added outside shower thing or sponge bath. Yeah, I definitely do sponge baths. I also from time to time do outdoor showers. Right now, it's been a little bit cool to do those. I mean, it's really, really nice, but it's like a little cool for outdoor showers. But yeah, I definitely do those. Just open the van doors up, and as long as I'm somewhere that's I got privacy. I mean, um, they want to spot me on a satellite. I guess they can, but All right, so. All right, so lots of great comments and everything going on. So I'm gonna let's see, what was my next thing I was gonna? Oh yeah, here we go. Something else I was gonna mention. Let's see. Okay, I have a poll up on this too. Will this economy create more nomads? This is something I've been thinking about a lot lately. The 2008, 2009 Great Recession made a huge influx, or resulted in a huge influx in people living the nomadic lifestyle, just because of the financial thing. They lost their jobs, lost a lot of their retirement savings potentially, or housing values, and people just got a lot of people got really wiped out in there, and so many people their incomes never recovered to up to this mess. And so, but anyways, a lot of people after that um, Great Recession moved into the nomadic lifestyle because you cut out the housing costs, live a little simpler, and you can live on a lot less money. So there was a huge increase in that. So I've been thinking about that. Is this, and it's early. We still don't know how this is all going to shake out and how bad the economic part will be and the virus part and everything else. But is this, I wondering, is this going to create more nomads again? Will it not make a difference at all? Or will it potentially result in some nomads saying, the heck with this, and getting off the road altogether? So I got up a YouTube poll. There's a link to it in the video description. I'm going to do a video, I'd assume. But I wanted to get feedback from all of you first and see what you guys all think. And then, somewhere in the next week or two, probably, I'll do a video sharing my thoughts on whether this economy is going to create more nomads. But I'd love to know what you all think. So after this is over, grab that link in the video description. You can also find it anytime if you go to my YouTube page, which you can get to by robertwitham.tv. I think I actually even have a cool link about that, but maybe I don't. No, I guess not. So robertwitham.tv anyways, and it'll take you to my page. Hit the community tab, and it'll be on there. So, there we go, and there's the link. This is what it's going to look like. You can grab that and go ahead and vote. I'd love to know what you all think about that. All right, so let's see here. I had a question from Rose come up this week. Have you ever eaten any of the wild edibles out in the desert, such as young tender cactus pads or any other edible plants? Well, years ago, before I came to the desert, I've eaten fiddleheads in the forest. That was decent enough. And partly the reason I did that was a curiosity to try it, and partly was because I was on a long hike and it brought water in a bag of nuts and didn't realize, or seeds, nuts, sunflower seeds, something like that, and didn't realize they'd gone bad and they were pretty rancid, so I did not want to eat those, so I ended up munching on some vegetation. And I have eaten not cactus pads. I have eaten the prickly pear cactus fruit. I figured that was in plentiful supply. You do have to, I'll throw a warning out here, you do have to check the regulations on the desert or forest you're in, because they do vary. Some places allow you to do that responsibly, limited harvesting for personal use and spreading out, not effect, some don't. So and that was fun. Those were surprisingly good too. A lot of work to harvest safely and get them prepared to eat, but they were enjoyable. So and I did have stained fingers. I have a picture somewhere. I should have thought of that. I have a picture somewhere of my purple stained fingers. All right, and Noreen had wrote talking about the van that was out here in the desert here. Let's see. Hold on. Yeah, talking about this picture right here. Okay. Noreen wrote, good camouflage. I can't see it. LOL. Can you do a video identifying some of the plants in the area? Yeah, and that's actually a cool idea. I am not a botanist by any stretch of the imagination, but I do try to learn some of the plants wherever I go, to be more informed and everything. And I just enjoy knowing what's around there and everything. I never managed to learn all of them because I go to so many different places, and then you have these subspecies and related plants, and so I never get them all. But I will make an attempt very soon. I've had it on my list to do a video about some of the plant life around here in the Mojave Desert. But and so in the meantime, as a temporary holdover, I put together a little video clip for about 3 minutes, I think, for you all to show some of the plants where I'm at right now. So I hope you enjoy. Here it goes. I hope you enjoy this. And I designed these things. This is like my typical nature videos to be kind of a meditative experience. So hope you enjoy this. I'll be back with you in like 3 minutes. All right, so I am back. Hopefully that plays smoothly. I've seen a little bit of stutter on my end, so hopefully it plays smooth streaming. I am going to upload that as a standalone video, so keep an eye out for that if you want to see it again or if it was any stuttering in it. It should be nice and smooth, but so yeah. Anyway, I see some of you appreciated that, like that. And I also have some comments about foraging and stuff. I would probably do more of that if I was in one place long enough. I travel so much, I'm always a little nervous about, do I really know these days? Do I really know what that plant is? I don't want to misidentifying a plant so, and eating something that's not good to eat. But I get myself. I don't need to do that. So, all right. So let's see. Let's see. Well, yeah, I'll put that up separately. As it'll be something on Mojave. I think it's Mojave Desert. Mojave Desert wildflowers, plants, and mountains. I think something like that. So keep an eye out for that if you want to see it again. That'll be up sometime this week, I'm sure. So, oh, yeah. Thank you, Deborah. I've been trying to. And Noreen asked, I said, I'm going to go. So I actually recorded that today. That's one of the reasons I was almost late for the live chat. But I was running around. So these are actually brand new today views and what I'm actually seeing right now in terms of wildflowers that are coming out and stuff. I'm not seeing the Mojave yuccas. They're not blooming yet. This time last year, they were like these football-sized flowers, just amazing, and none of them are blooming yet. So I don't know if it's too wet and we're not going to see it this year, or if it's just been too cool, so it hasn't happened yet. So, all right. PM Wizard 48, hello. Yeah, Sarah's the prickly pears. Yeah, that's those are there's a few of them starting to flower here. I was surprised, and I had not seen them flowering before today. I was out walking around getting clips, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, look, they're starting to go." All right, so we had a spell. I mean, it wasn't a lot. We've had a fair bit. The week I've been back here, we've had a fair bit of cloudy and rainy and cooler weather. I mean, not all day, every day, but like for a little bit and stuff. So it's been cooler than normal here this time of year. So nice to see stuff starting to flower up. So Russ, hello in Upper Peninsula, Michigan. I've been through the UP a bunch of times, and that was some nice territory up there. Went through once at around Christmas time in a rear-wheel drive car. We were heading. I think that time we were heading back from New York, back out to Montana or something, and it was a snowstorm going like crazy. And so I pulled into this gas station, some little town up there. I was the only car in the gas station. Everybody else was riding in on snowmobiles. And I was like, I think I got the wrong vehicle for this time of year in the UP. So, all right. So, and yeah, I thought, let's see, pose it. Yeah, for me, I mean, there's some, like I said, some financial concerns. There's some things being slow. There's the issue of not being able to travel freely as much as I would like, or I might want to. But yeah, as far as self isolation, this is pretty routine for me. I just hunker down at work and work on different projects and everything. So it's not that part's not any different than normal. I do, like in winter, I'll do a little more socialization, getting other people, and I'll occasionally meet up with somebody but usually I spend a lot of time alone, working on either freelance work or when that's available, or just trying to create videos and magazines. Oh, magazines, man, guys! I got the I don't know. I can't have it show you quick. I should have got the picture ready. The issue 5 of Meanderings Magazine is waiting for a proof copy from the printer right now. I wanted to have that out the 1st of April. With everything going on, I've been a little bit slow. So, but yeah, that's coming pretty soon. So that's a huge project. That's like an entire week every quarter to get that thing laid out for print and 3 different sizes for PDFs and Kindle and get everything done. That's a huge project. So hopefully I can get be traveling enough to get some more photos for the next one, which is due in July, between now and then. So hopefully things settle down so I can get out more. So, all right. Let's see. There are a lot of people camping in the desert. There are more people camping here in southern Nevada than there normally are at this time of year. It's more like what I would expect to see in the winter, when there's generally more people here. But it's been so yeah, there's more than normal for this time of year. But because it's been cooler, I'm sure as soon as it starts warming up, they're going to start scattering. You can still get, like you saw from that photo, this photo here. Whoops, no, wrong. There we go. You can still get away from people, so you're not crowded, and that's what I've done. I'm finding it pretty difficult right now to get out of sight of people, which a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I was able to do, where I could really not even see anybody at all. I was like a mile, more than a mile from the nearest other person. So it's more crowded than it was 4, 6, 8 weeks ago, I think. But a little more crowded than I would expect it to be this time of year. But it's not like Quartzsite in winter in January. It's not like that. But it is a little more crowded than normal. So, Noreen, thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's the website there if you want to check that out. There's also a shortcut. You can also go to meanderings.com. But yeah, if you just go to my website, you'll find it. So you can do either one will work for you. And you check that out. You can get subscriptions. Annual subscriptions are discounted. If you're looking for a gift for somebody that's unique and innovative and different from what everybody else is getting, go check those out. The annuals are discounted, digital and print. So I cannot do subscriptions on Kindle, unfortunately, because that's the infrastructure is not there for me to do that. The Kindle ones go straight from Amazon, so you have to get those one at a time. So, all right, okay, and yeah, there's that link for. Thanks, Noreen, for sharing that. Um, let's see. So, what do you all want to see for videos? I know I keep asking this the last couple of weeks. I got a growing list. I'm coming up with some ideas now, but I definitely cannot travel as much as very much. I'm trying to be responsible and comply with both the letter of the law and the spirit of the law with orders from the governors here in Nevada, and I'm trying to make sure I'm being responsible and not messing with anything. So as soon as that gets done, we travel more. In the meantime, I don't want to make a whole bunch of videos talking about all this nastiness either. But if there's something specific you want to know, that's fine. But otherwise, I mean, is there anything you guys want to see? Let me know here. Leave a note, comment below the video after the live chat's over. Anything like that. So, yeah, Vest. I saw that in the news. I was shocked. It's like, all I could think was, boy, there isn't enough going on right now, and now people getting caught with major storms like that too. That's rough. So, all right. So yeah, let me know about that. Any Oh, okay. There you go. The flora and fauna. Like, yeah, I could. I will definitely do some more of those as things turn. Because as it starts warming up here, a bunch of stuff is gonna pop, and it depends on the year exactly what's blooming and how much, and all that stuff. But there will be more as things get going. So I will definitely kind of chronicle that. That's something I can do without having to go anywhere, and there is nobody around for me to be close to. So it's not a problem staying 6 feet away from people. So don't say, yeah, I've been spending over the last couple of years more and more time in southern Nevada here, and so it's been working out, and it makes a good spring and fall place for sure. And I ended up going down to Arizona in the midwinter this year, where it's a little bit warmer. But there we go. And my mother really worries if I'm not. My mother's a retired RN, so she wants to make sure I'm following all the good guidelines and everything there. So, oh, Brenda's asking about a video on the regular maintenance in a van. Hold on, I got to get my little pen here and make a couple notes before I forget these suggestions. I go and ask you all for, for suggestions, and I'll forget them if I don't write them down. So that's actually a great topic, and I am not a mechanic. I have a few friends who are mechanics. I'm not a legit mechanic, but I'm a passable shade tree mechanic, and I do a lot of work on my own vehicles. I used to do everything. These days, I try not to deal with drivability issues on like the engine stuff if I can help it, because this thing's kind of a challenge to. It doesn't have the full blown OBD2, so it's a little challenging trying to troubleshoot stuff if you're not a real mechanic and you don't have a ton of experience. Saying, I've seen this before. So, oh, rock formations and sunsets. All right, let me make another note here, Sarah. Thank you. I was as I was walking around getting photos of the. You ever try and write one thing and talk about something else at the same time? Um, I'm missing a channel somewhere. That doesn't work for me. So yeah, I was walking around I was looking at some of the cool rocks. I almost shot some footage of some of the rocks here because there's a lot of cool rocks. I was telling my granddaughters, I was up in Wyoming, a couple of them had their rock collections going. I was like, you all should come down with. Oh, Deborah, thank you. That Deborah's writing down topic suggestions. Good. I tell you guys got to come down to camp with Pop sometimes. You'll go home with a dump truck of pretty rocks that are all your favorites. So. All right, so I think that was all I had for tonight. But again, if you can leave comments down below. You can email me at I'll pop that up for you. You can always email me with a topic suggestion. Really, I want to bring you guys stuff that is entertaining and informative and valuable to you all. Missing a channel, yeah. So stuff that you guys want to watch, but I definitely has a little bit different right now. And so instead of me just trying to make stuff up, yeah, I love any suggestions for what you guys would like to see to make sure I'm on the right track. Putting in a lot of work to make a video and edit it and publish and everything. So I don't want to be putting out stuff that nobody wants to watch. So, and travel channels, man, we're getting hammered right now. I don't know what's going on, but I apparently happen to do a lot of channels where I don't know if people just aren't traveling or what, so they're not watching stuff. But we're all struggling a little bit with trying to get views right now. So definitely want to share stuff that people want to see. But that being said, I'm going to wind off here, and I will put that that Mojave Desert scenery clip up on YouTube this week. So keep an eye out for that. And like I said, there'll be some other ones that are excerpted from these. And don't forget the poll. There's a poll in the video description if you want to vote on whether this economy is going to create more nomads. You can also, if you watch this afterwards, leave a comment if you feel like it on Frugal Van and RV Life, what you're doing to make things work right now. Thank you everybody for joining. I know I have not been able to catch up with all the comments. I've tried, but I could not keep up with everything. This is like being I liken this to being a one-man TV production crew running a live broadcast. There's an awful lot to keep track of, but I try to keep an eye on things, and the moderators are good about pointing stuff out to me too. So thank you everybody, and we will catch you in the next one next week, Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks.